And the final question that everybody has been waiting for an answer to, and everybody's been wanting to know. I promised a life update and a Q&A, so that's what we're gonna do. Get a little personal with you guys and answer all those questions that we know you've all had. Now let's rewind to Mexico. June 2020, a very defining moment in my life. And it all started with sitting around a campfire talking to Chris about how I wanted to slow down on travel. To the people that know me best, they know I love security. I'm a very future-oriented person. Plan wasn't to completely stop traveling. That was never the plan, and it's still never the plan. It was just to find something that would allow me to be sustainable and live a comfortable life when I'm 40 years old, while still allowing me to travel. I told myself I wanted to be more family oriented and not miss out on all those things in life that I've missed in the last 9 years.
Let's go. It's wedding time.
Needed to figure out how I was going to build this sustainable life and have security while allowing myself to be somewhat free and do what I love. So I launched Optimum Influence Media pre-COVID, not knowing how it was gonna work, how local business or local SEO worked, or how or when or if it was even going to be successful. I had no idea. Fast forward to July 2020. I was on a flight coming from Cancun to Rochester. Had no idea what my life entailed at that moment. I was just lost. And on July 27th, 2020, my first day home in Rochester, I got a message from Luke Laporta. And we've been chatting for a little over, well, now 2 years, but at that moment in time, it was little over a year. Little did I know we would have so much in common and become such good friends so fast. I think I might actually end up dying on one of these bikes. This is quite interesting. And when you're too lazy to walk up, you ride the elevator.
Welcome to the wedding. It's a golf cart. Everybody looks great. This is the most cooperative, biggest family.
We could just spin it. There you go.
Yeah, it's spinning though by itself.
It's amazing the fucking muzzle blast off these things.
But at that moment, everything just kind of aligned, and he's, you know, not only been a mentor to me, but he's showed me the ropes throughout the whole wedding industry and just kind of guided me in the right direction. So if you guys are interested in looking at good photographers, I definitely suggest heading over and looking at his profile, because it's one that you want to see. You know, at that moment, I had never done weddings. I had never done professional photo shoots or anything like that. That's kind of where you just learn to adapt and overcome, and being guided through that process was really incredible. So ever since that moment when I got home, the day after I got home, I've just gone full bore with Optimum Influence, doing everything I can, from weddings to maternity shoots to family photo albums, commercials, wedding videos, and photography. Like, I've just been doing as many shoots as I possibly could to learn and gain as much experience in the industry as possible.
The second time I met you, you were bald, but I felt like I had known you for a really long time.
When I was younger, I used to ask my parents how you would know when you'd find the right person, and they'd tell me that you would just feel it. when the right person was in your life, that I would love being around that person and that my world would be forever changed.
20 years, Everblack is a leading asphalt paving contractor in the Western New York area. No job is too big or small for Everblack. We provide commercial milling and paving of all sizes. We also have small patch crews that provide pothole repairs.
You know, I love the fact that when you do shoots like this, especially for weddings and families, your work is cherished for generations and generations. So when Cuts reached out to me and offered to send me some of their clothes to test, this was perfect because now I had clothes for every situation and I could get rid of all of those cheap clothes I was buying while traveling that only lasted about a week. The clothes are super durable, super comfortable, really breathable and lightweight, so they are perfect for everybody. They're offering 15% to anybody that wants to test out their clothes if you use the link down below, so I highly suggest checking it out because you'll never wear anything other than Cuts again. So yeah, everything's been basically full speed ahead with Optimum Influence Media. I'm very grateful for where it's gone and how fast it's taken off. We've recently launched a new website, which will be linked down below, and we're hiring photographers and videographers. If you guys know anybody that is local to Rochester, you can have them send me an email. So fast forward a couple months, I reconnected with an old friend, Jen, that I met in 2009 in high school. What's the name of the town we're in now? Rincon. So we're at Villa Confrese, and we're in Rincon, and this view is incredible. They have a pool, they have a bar, upstairs and downstairs restaurant, and 11 months later and a couple trips, we moved in together. You can clearly see that I'm in a new office, and we live in Irondequoit in Rochester.
Is that a speck on your face?
And we are currently planning another trip for the winter this year. So don't worry, Divertliving's not over, and I don't think it will ever be over. It has taught me so much, and without you guys, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I'm extremely grateful for everything we've learned, and we continue to learn together. I love sharing everything I learn as I travel with you guys in hopes to help you guys have easier and better trips, and you can be smarter as you travel and not make the same mistakes that I do. I plan to continue to travel when I can periodically as wedding season and commercials aren't booked. So generally that becomes in the winter time when it's cold here in Rochester. But in the meantime, I'll continuously post content from previous trips, different things that we're doing around the house, and more lifestyle stuff. So I don't know if you're actually interested in seeing more lifestyle stuff or more personal stuff. I would love to share that, but I'm worried that you guys just really don't care to see any of that. In honesty, I used to be a lot more personal, but kind of shut off because I was worried about not being accepted or losing the entire audience, and I just don't know if that's the case. So for future travels, I'm hoping to plan another trip to Mexico, but this morning I just started planning a dream trip of mine with a very good friend that you guys have also met, but I'm gonna keep that a secret. So that's basically it for my life as an update, but we're gonna jump into the part that you've all been waiting for, the Q&A, to kind of answer all of your questions, and yes, I mean all of them. So I have a super long list of questions, and I'm just gonna go through them all. Some of them relate to travel, some of them relate to my lifestyle, some of them relate to the past experiences and situations, and we're gonna answer them all. So since you've been riding bikes, are you going to ride any bikes in another country? Actually, I've recently found out that the MotoGP is in Indonesia next year, so I'm currently looking into it with one of my friends about possibly going there. I don't think I would race it, but I would go watch. Have I ever considered writing a book about my travels? And yes, I have. Not only about my travels, but about my past and how I was raised and grew up in the situations of transitioning from the military to travel. I've actually wrote half the book, so I don't know if I'll ever finish it. It's kind of one of those passion projects, and yeah, I just don't know if I'll ever be able to finish it because it's really long and it's really difficult to write about yourself. For solo first-time travelers, how much money would you need for a 3-month trip? Well, my first time in Asia, I did 10 months and I think 9 countries on 4,000 USD. So it's possible. It wasn't comfortable and it wasn't always enjoyable, but I would say $3,000 to $4,000 could last you 5 months comfortably, 4 to 5 months, if you're, you know, not splurging and spending like crazy. Is New York a safe place for tourists to visit at the end of this year, or California? I don't really know about California, but I know New York is almost fully open again, and we're trying to get, I think, to 75% vaccination. So yeah, New York is basically open. You don't really need a mask anywhere anymore, and New York is very safe now. What's the most precious attitude a traveler could have to really treasure his travel time? I would say try and always remain positive, and always think in your head that you may be in a tough situation, but it's a situation you can always learn from, and you can learn on what to do differently, and it'll just grow you as a human being and a person, and it'll allow you to see the best in every situation. When are you gonna see me travel again? As I said, I have a very big trip planned, and I really want to share it with you, but I can't share it with you just yet. It's a dream trip, and I haven't booked the tickets, but I plan on booking them within the next week, and once I do, I will share the entire itinerary with you guys and let you know what we'll be doing and who we'll be going with. But August, to answer the question. Have you been to Palawan? If so, is there a good mix of adventure on the islands? Yes, I've been to Palawan, and yes, I love Palawan, and the islands are amazing. And if you're going to be going to Palawan, do not miss taking a trip with Kiluma. It is the best experience you will ever take. Which camera do I use for my Instagram pictures? So with video and photo kind of being necessary for both, I use the Sony a7 III, and I have 2 of them. I carry one for tight shots and one for wide shot. How did you meet Travelwith Chris? I know while serving, but how and when? I actually didn't meet Chris while serving in the military. We both did serve in the military, but we met through a mutual friend, Steve. And when I was in Colombia, Chris was headed to Colombia. When I went to Peru, I missed him by like a week. But then when I went to Mexico in June last year, we had met up in Mexico, and we drove all the way to pick him up at Cancun airport, and then all the way back to Tulum, and me and Chris spent a little over a month and a half together, or around a month, and Chris helped me out a lot on that trip. Not only did I not speak any Spanish, but he was there for me in a very needed situation. We had a lot in common. We have a lot of history that's shared, and we just kind of clicked and got along right away. Are you going to be traveling a lot more once things open back up? I will travel when I can, but I will always create content. I don't think I'll be traveling a whole lot, but I will be traveling a couple times a year. The best country I've been to. You know, it's really hard to say the best country I've been to, because I love certain aspects about every place I've been to, and I don't like certain aspects about just about every place I've been to, but I do love the Philippines and Indonesia. It's just one of those places that I fell in love with, and I can't ever forget about that. What program do you use to edit with? And I edit with Final Cut Pro, although I did download Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects just to try and learn it, but I don't think I'll continuously edit on that because it's pretty confusing to me right now. How difficult or easy was it to start vlogging after the event? Very good vlogging and very good clarity. It was hard. A lot changed. I don't think it was very hard for me to start vlogging again. I don't really enjoy vlogging by myself. I like sharing experiences with people. I guess I shouldn't say I don't like vlogging by myself, but I don't like traveling by myself. I like sharing experience with people and friends, and that makes travel so much more special for me. So it was a little hard because I didn't want to travel by myself, but I do enjoy traveling, and I do enjoy sharing my experiences with people. So it was a little difficult, but you know, the most difficult things make you a stronger person. So you just move on and do what you love to do. What influences you or attracts you to travel to a place? Honestly, the first couple years of travel was just where can I travel the cheapest and how can I get from one point to another without spending a lot of money while still experiencing a lot of culture and places. So my travels kind of persisted on budget. But right now and like recently, I've been traveling to places that I just really, really want to see. Like the dream trip is going to cost me a good amount of money to get there, get back, and do everything I want to do. But I travel because I want to experience culture and I want to learn how to travel a place so that people can experience the culture that I saw. Don't you get frustrated when you go to a place and people there are not able to understand your language or you're not able to understand theirs? Only when I'm hungry, to be 100% honest. No, I don't really get frustrated because I shouldn't expect them to understand my language when I'm in their country. And I don't always understand their language, but you just kind of have to take the time and Google Translate. And honestly, a lot of places around the world do speak English, so if you speak English, you generally, especially in tourist areas, you'll be able to get by. Have you ever raced at Mexico, New York? Yes, I've raced at Moto Masters in Mexico, New York. It is one of my favorite tracks in New York. It's super deep beach sand, and it's like a one-of-a-kind track in New York. You can't really find anything like that around here, so I absolutely love racing there. And my buddy Brad grew up in Mexico. Update on the OnlyFans. Dude, it's not coming. I'm not gonna do OnlyFans. I'm sorry to break your heart, but Jay, you will not be seeing me naked unless it's on accident. All right, and the final question that everybody has been waiting for an answer to, and everybody's been wanting to know, and nobody has addressed it because, well, nobody wants to make anybody look bad. The relationships with the people mean a lot to me because I was the one that built those relationships. And are you happy and healthy in life? Are you happy and have a healthy life now? Yes, I am happy. I'm extremely grateful for the community that is here because you guys have supported me no matter what. I'm extremely happy with where I'm at in life, and I'm extremely grateful to have the family and friends I do in my life, because no matter what gets thrown at you in life, no matter where you are in life and what is happening, you can always get through it as long as you take your time, adapt, and overcome. No matter what happens, you can get through it. So that's it.